Okay, I'll try. It's so good to see everybody. I really miss you up in the mountains, and hope you'll all get up there to see me one of these days when you can. But, goodness, I don't know where to start, except trust in the Lord with all your heart. And lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path.
Yes.
If I've learned one thing in my life, that is the big thing that I have learned. I just celebrated my 79th birthday. I was saved when I was 9 years old. It came into my heart, and He's been there ever since. Even though at times I tried to push Him away or try to, get off on and do other things, But He always was there, and no matter how far you stray away from God, it only takes one step of repentance and you're right back. And I'm thankful for that, because we've all done it, and we'll probably do it again. But He'll be there, and He'll be faithful. With being saved at 9, and I'm 79, I've been following the Lord now for 70 years. I got to think about that. That is a long time. But when I started out, it was a simple act of faith, and Jesus came into my heart. And we all have that much faith and trust in Him. The Word said that we all have that, and we can receive it or reject it. And He says, choose this day life. When you're trusting in the Lord, is like growing up from a baby. You don't do it all at one time. Little by little, you walk in faith and trust and love for Him. In order to be able to trust somebody, you have to know them. You have to spend time with them and let them get to know you too. It's not just a one-way street. You have to open up your heart and let Him in, and you have to look into His heart and see what He wants. It's been a couple long struggles for me the last couple of years, and I think most of you know that. But God is good, and although my life has changed with Betty passing away, it'll never be the same again. I'll never have that back. But God has shown me that He still has a plan for my life, and that I am to follow that plan, and that even though I miss my husband every day, and will until I see him again, God has good for me. He has a plan for me, and it's going to be good. Some days I can see that, some days I cannot. It's touch and go, and there's a few ladies in our community and neighborhood that know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know exactly how much time I have up here, but as you know, or most of you know, that the Lord had one day Betty's niece come to see us. She was going through a bad divorce, and we were trying to support her, and she'd come to stay for a few days. She was looking for a place here in Salisbury, moving back to here. And her and her ex-husband had some property up in the mountains. And I had never seen it. They'd had it for 20, 25 years, something like that. And their plan was to, when they retired, was to build a bed and breakfast over there. The property overlooks Beach Mountain. It's very nice up there. And so she had to go up and take a look at it and ask us if we wanted to ride along. So we said yes. It's a nice day, why not? You know, it's a good day just to get out and relax a little bit. Buddy and I did not know at that time that that trip was going to change our lives so drastically. When we got up there, like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful place, 16.5 acres. And the house was partially built. It had a septic tank and a well and just foundation and a roof. And that was about it. No flooring, no sides, no nothing. But as we were there, of course, Buddy, he was looking around at man stuff, and we were looking around at the scenery. And the Lord began to speak to me. And this is where you're supposed to be. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. It wasn't making any sense, but we were up there for several hours, and this just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger in me that this is where I was supposed to be. And I'm thinking, you're out of your mind. I mean, I'm 77 years old. What in the world am I going to do up here? You know, besides that, I've got him to deal with. But he's not going to buy this, you know. And I didn't know at the time, but the Lord was dealing with him about the same thing. So we went through that day. I was troubled. It didn't make sense to me. Why in the world would we even be there? I couldn't understand it. So after we finally got back home and got some time to talk about it, I realized the Lord was speaking the same thing to Buddy. And so we both were in bewilderment because we don't know anybody in the mountains. We're old. What in the world are we doing? I mean, this is something that young people need to be doing, not us. But anyway, he persisted. And so we said, okay, Lord. This property was going to be up for sale. And his niece... His mother was quite wealthy, and so the chances of us getting that property were 0. And we prayed, and we said, okay, Lord, if this is what you want us to do, you're going to have to work it out, because in the natural, we see what he's trying to do here. There's no way. But however, if it's what you want, you'll take care of it. Well, we just prayed about it, and we left it right there. We're not going to worry about it. We're not going to be calling to see how things are going or anything like that. We're just going to leave it at your feet. About 3 months later, we got a call from Danny, and she said, Aunt Sue is on the Buddy there. I said, yes. He said, well, tell him he has got property in the mountains now. What happened, he had tried to cancel court or reschedule it, whatever you call it, 3 times. And the judge says, somebody has put money down on this property, right? Yep. And he said, well, we're done with you. It's theirs. So his mother did not give him the money to buy the place. She was upset with him, and she didn't let him have it. So here we have this property. So Buddy and I went back to the mountains, and we're sitting there. We're looking at this place and said, oh my Lord, what are we going to do now? I mean, here we got this place. What are we going to do with this? And the Lord really didn't tell us a whole lot. We knew what we were supposed to be doing, and we did it. And we said, Lord, we don't know what to do. Well, I don't know any builders up here. Where are we going to get the money to do this? We had some money set aside for, emergencies when we got old, or maybe had to be in a nursing home. Who knows? All that stuff. And so we were just praying, well, you're going to have to show us, Lord. We're trusting you. You're just going to have to show us. And so a little day or 2 later after we had prayed, I was thinking about you yesterday when you were talking about how you pray and we want it right now, and it doesn't happen. Yeah. Well, on the mountain, in this situation, everything was clicking fast. I mean, it was fast. It wasn't, I didn't have to wait 2 days or 2 months or, that sort of stuff. It was crazy. We got a call from Charles Parks, and he's a money manager here in town, and he said, "Buddy," said, "you got some rentals. Would you like to sell them?" And he said, "I've got a guy here that wants to sell." We had 6 altogether. He said he wants to buy them all at one time. And he said, "That's unheard of." And he said, "I don't understand it." He said, "But he wants to buy them all." And we just looked at each other, Buddy and I, and we knew that was the Lord, because that was an awful lot for somebody to buy at one time. So we sold the rentals and started building the house. Everything was just going so well. The Lord, everything we needed was provided when we needed. Even the builder, Lord, we don't know anybody up here. In comes an old pickup truck and a guy in it named Brent, and he says, "Hi, my name's Brent Ward. I'm a builder." And we've been wondering when somebody was going to do something up on this hill, because he lived right in the community for all these years. So he was a real blessing and sent from the Lord, and he started to work, him and his crew. They become not just builders. The Lord sent them to encourage us and help us, and we've become great friends. He's like family. He checks on me all the time now that Buddy's gone. Every day or two he'll come to, "You need anything? You all right? You be sure and call me." But everything was just going so well. The house was almost filled, almost finished, and we were looking forward to moving in. And Buddy started not feeling good. He just wasn't feeling well at all. So finally, being the stubborn guy he was, he waited until he had to before he went to the doctor. Not that it would have made any difference, I think, but he had stage 4 cancer. And he went downhill real fast. And I'm thinking, "Lord, this doesn't make any sense. We're doing what you told us to do." That was the hard thing. We knew we were in His will. We knew we were following His directions. And then you give us this for our trouble. I was hurt and angry. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why we were there. And it was just, I was just a mess. I was a mess, especially after Buddy passed away. We prayed and believed that God was going to heal him. And when He didn't, it just undone me. It undone me. I did not know how I was going to go on. But I had decisions to make. I had to decide what I was going to do. Am I going to go to the mountain? Am I going to sell the place here? What do I do? And I wasn't getting any answers. And I wasn't really in any place to ask the questions in the first place. But as time went on, I just, I didn't know how I was going to live without Buddy. That was my biggest problem. We did everything together. We prayed we prayed together. We made decisions together and heard God on everything. And all of a sudden, I'm left. I felt like I was holding the bag. He's off in heaven having a great time. And I'm not. I am not, and I'm not happy about it either. But then I got sick myself. I started out with an upper respiratory infection, and I went to the doctor, and they gave me some antibiotics. And I called them in 3 or 4 days, and I said, this is not working. And they said, "Well, don't come back." Said, "Take all the medicine. Then if you're not better, come back." So I took all the medicine. By the time I got back, I had pneumonia and COVID. and I was really, really, really sick. I remember one night, I don't know if I had a dream, or if it was a vision, or if I was out of my head, but it was real. Strange. I was above, looking down at myself, and I was in bed. I felt the presence of the Lord here, and the presence of Buddy here. And I'm asking the Lord to take me home. I said, God, I'm ready to go. Come and take me home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with all of this. Take me home. He didn't say a word, not one word. I'm looking over to Buddy and to the presence I saw there. And I said, Buddy, tell him, or convince him to come and take me home. And he didn't say anything either. And I was upset with both of them. But the next thing I knew, I was awake and I felt better. And later on the day, I was continually to feel better. So I had gotten over that hard place, and was getting better. Physically, I was getting better, but I was still struggling with where I was, and I didn't know what to do. The kids were and he would have been so proud, and he's so proud of my kids. They really stood up, my grandkids. They have helped and supported me, and he would just really be proud of them, how they've done. But now I've lost my place. One day, I was just so, I don't know, like I said, didn't know what to do, and I was upset. I don't want to say I was angry, but I guess I was. I felt like I'd been cheated because the Lord had taken Buddy, and it wasn't fair that I was going to be left alone to deal with the future. I started praying, and I asked the Lord to help me. I just really got upset with him, and I don't like to say that I got mad and told God off. I've heard people tell me that. I just got so mad with God, and I told him off and told him just what I thought. I have never been, I don't think I'd ever be able to do that. I was upset more with myself than I was with God, because I wasn't together. And but I said, Lord, I don't know what to do. You took Buddy, and I don't know what to do. And I remember on the table like that, and I said, and I'm not going to do anything until you tell me what to do. And then I just bawled, just cried, and when I finally got over myself, the Lord said, what did I say in the beginning? I heard him just as loud and clear. And I said, you said go to the mountains. He said, I have not changed my mind. Lord, that's what I needed to hear. That's what I needed to know, because I did not know what to do. And so I dried my eyes, I grabbed some boxes, and I went to work. And it took a lot of effort, but I wound up at the mountains. One thing I wanted to say, and I didn't, I forgot to, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. When Buddy was in the hospital, for years and years, we prayed for our kids. We prayed for our grandkids. We prayed for the church kids. We prayed for everybody. But we said, Lord, whatever it takes, save our kids. We don't want our kids to die and go to hell. please save our kids. And I've had Christian people tell me, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? You don't ever pray that way. Bad things could happen when you pray that way. Somebody could die if you pray that way. So I asked Buddy, I said, honey, do you think that you're in the place that you're in right now because we prayed that prayer? He said, I don't know. He said, but if I am, he said, if one child, one grandchild gets saved because of my death here, it will be worth all the suffering that I have done. And that is true. And I believe that all of our children and all of our grandchildren are going to be saved because God is faithful. God is faithful. I don't know exactly what all the Lord is going to do on that mountain. There's an apartment in the bottom of the house that has 2 bedrooms. It's a very nice place. And God told us before Buddy died, and during that time that we were building, that apartment was to be used for the pastor and the prophet and anybody that serves me and needs a break, a refreshing, a rest. And so that's what that apartment is dedicated to and for and will be used. I've already had a couple of people have asked me if I would rent it. I said, no, that's God's, and it's not going to be used that way. And so we know that that's already done. I've begun to meet people in the community now, and we're a lady, her and her husband and children were missionaries in the Philippines, and we have been having devotions and stuff with her, getting together once a week. Ken and Kay came up one night, and we had a little service with them there and fellowship. And other people have already been becoming to be added to that. And hopefully we're going to have Ken and Kay come up once a month. And people are they're more approachable, I think, than they are down here. You know, you ask people to come to church or do something here, sometimes you might see them and you might not. But up there, they seem more approachable. And I like I said, I don't know what all the Lord's going to do, but I do know there's rest. There's healing for people who come. We've had a couple people who've come now that have lost their husbands, and they get refreshed and get some ministry there, and just a ton of refreshing. And like I said, I don't know, but I know we've got acreage. I don't know what I'm going to do with 16 acres. I don't have any cows or anything. And don't want any, tell your granddaughter I don't want any. Kay's granddaughter, Cora, is up in the mountains with me. And she keeps trying to get me to buy goats. And put goats in. I said, what you'll do is you'll have me get all these goats, then you'll get married, and I'll be stuck with goats. But anyway, the Lord is good, and He's faithful, and He's trustworthy. And one thing I have learned, that Betty's gone, but God's not. Amen. And I go to Him now solely for things that I need, for prayers that I need to be answered. And He's always faithful to tell me what to do. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not onto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Thank you.